Alright guys, gonna do a 3 week build update on Cat. This is hit my actually this is the highest I can get him right now. This is one of my PvP builds. I did get some good Magneto badges. Just a note, one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to open your 6-star badge box because it's a selector box. You don't want to open that before you open the 5-star badge box. You'll end up like me, getting to the same like number of badges. Yeah. Look at this. Look at my stats. This is primarily use this for against Iron Man. Just uh, trying to out damage. Not that it doesn't work very well to try to out damage Iron Man, but I got my crit damage decrease up a little bit. Still got my defense pierce. Still got PvP damage. Just I'm kind of playing around with it. I'm not aiming for that high crit rate and crit damage right now. This is more of an experimental build, not a this is how you should build it type build. Don't try to copy it because I'm still having trouble beating Iron Man. Anyway, the this is my other PvP build. This works very well for what it is. I kind of aimed for high health, which is supposed to be over here. Yeah, high health. My defense pierce is a little lower. My PvP damage and decrease are almost capped. But what really, like my HP recovery, 122%, where HP 136, where this really stands out is the skills here. Run the heal spec with him. So he'll recover 30% of his HP and increases HP recovery by 34.38%. I've already got the 22% HP recovery. So, yeah, like I did all the math on it. I should be recovering something like 75k health every time I proc this. And for long fights, which is primarily where I use it, I can proc it 3 times in a dimension duel. Yeah, 3 times in dimension duel. That's significant versus characters like Storm, who really likes to hide in a bubble right now, or against characters like Spider-Man, who he's really hard to hit, and his strategy is just run away and dodge and all that type of stuff. Um, the other significant thing about this build is I got accuracy capped. I probably don't need as much on it, but I'm still kind of in the area where I'm still trying to finalize these builds, get the rolls I want and whatnot. Uh, I did re-roll this head, which, if I'm not going to be, yeah, so something significant, which is kind of changing my build strategy to a degree. The crit damage decrease stat right here, that is now capped at 200. It was capped at 100. The significance of that is when it was capped at 100, your crit damage multiplier was, if you have max crit damage going against max crit damage decrease, you did 200% crit damage. You did that at a 75% rate. Space roughly averages out to 150% multiplier. 150% damage multiplier. It was the highest damage multiplier, and thus it really made a lot of sense to do a crit build. It still makes a lot of sense for PvE, where you're going against environment. They don't have crit decrease as of yet that I know of, and I might not be up to date on it. Now that crit decrease is capped at 200%, a max crit build with 300 crit damage and 75% crit rate will do 100% crit damage to someone that's capped at 200. So 100% crit damage at a 75% rate, that gives you an average multiplier of 75%. 75% multiplier is the same thing as like your PvP damage multiplier, caps at 75%. Total damage caps at 75%. PvP damage is very easy to stack. Total damage not so much. Um, but any crit damage below 200, you really run the risk of not getting any effect at all against, now, does this mean everyone should change their whole build? I don't think yet, because I doubt that anyone is running 200% crit damage decrease. I think Cap is the easiest to build crit damage decrease on, because he can get it as a bonus roll on his Omega cards. Having said that, am I running max crit damage decrease? No. I can get it up to I could get it up to, I think it's 120% on my one build. And I think I messed my my Omega cards up. Yeah. No, these are the right Omega cards for the health build. Notice I want that extra PvP damage increase roll and the extra attack roll against, Spider-Mans and whatnot. For this, my kind of more, and I can't say it even works great against Iron Man. I get this extra defense pierce roll, extra crit damage decrease. I sacrifice a PvP increase roll, but and it doesn't feel like it does as much damage, which is also an issue versus Captain America. I'm 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 really kind of experimenting with this build, like not really going for high crit rate or high crit damage. Kind of, I can get my crit damage decrease up to 122, which was kind of my goal versus Iron Man. I'm still just playing around with this. This is more of a very experimental. Like, don't try to copy this. It's We'll see how effective it actually is. But with the whole crit damage decrease cap being raised, that that brings me to this helmet. I got crit rate. I really, in the past, you really wanted like 3 crit rate rolls to help you get that. Like I got 29% there. I got I got 1 crit rate roll here. Made it very easy. I'm running almost 40% crit rate on my costume. Made it easy to get max crit rate. The attack stat, that's kind of. Attack really is just kind of fluff in this game. You want your multipliers more than you want your attack stat. Yeah, attack will help you build, your actual attack, but your multipliers have so much more to do with it. So I get this extra head. I'm gonna keep re-rolling that as I get fodder till I get. Ideally, I would love to see uh, some defense pierce. My defense pierce is a lot harder to build than crit damage, and yeah, I would just I'd love to get some defense pierce. Can I forget if you could get defense pierce on a helmet. You I think it's one of the stats you can. I forget. My chest, pretty decent to accuracy. Uh, I'd like to see three. Three's a little bit better to build. If I had 3 accuracy rolls, I would not need to run an accuracy card at all. Period. I would be capped right now. Reslie's shield. This I'm disappointed out. I had an extra shield when I rolled the cap. I leveled this shield up. Um, I had 4 crit damage rolls and 1 guard damage decrease roll. Yeah, 4 crit damage decrease rolls, 1 guard damage decrease rolls on a shield. I rolled this on a different shield, just kind of like I have this extra one. So I rolled this, and with cap, it is so easy to build crit damage. I thought it was great that I could get some guard damage decrease rolls, and I could max that also. So it seemed at the time like a no-brainer to me to go ahead and take that, put all my nanos from 4 crit damage decrease rolls to this. And now post buff, post update. Oof, oof. I really wish I had those 2 more crit damage decrease rolls. Like, I would be, yeah, give me an extra 40% crit damage decrease, 39%, 40%, whatnot. Oh my god. I would be loving it right now. Boots, this is like the main reason I kind of went to cap. I had, yeah, four HP rolls is is pretty crazy. Um, Normally on boots, you want cooldown decrease and stamina regen for most characters. Like for Captain Marvel, you can you'd rather see alt gauge recovery than cool. You want cooldown decrease on Captain Marvel, but stamina regen is not as big of a deal with her because she has a skill that can recover stamina. Alt recovery is good for her. Anyway, yeah, I rolled these boots. I can't get cooldown rolls. So, I got 4 HP boots, and I figured I've got a cat. He's got the barrier is health based, and the heal is health based. I've done a lot of running arena with the barrier and Ultron, and that's fun. Uh, I've also recently moved a lot to the health build, the heal build. Run the heal and run. I'll show the I'll show that. Yeah, so that build, 136k health for the skills. I got the health spec, 30% of my HP I recover, plus increases HP recovery by 34%. My HP recovery rate is already 122, and my companion that increased my health rate recovery. That's significant because Volstagg does 4.5% HP every second for 5 seconds. I did the math on it. I should be healing somewhere around 75k every time I can proc the combo. And I can't, it's hard to gauge 100%, you know, that, whether that is or is not. Basically, I've been too lazy to figure out exactly if that's the numbers I'm seeing. But it is very significant amount of health against the Spider-Man that want to run away all match, the Black Widows that want to run away all match, the Storms that want to hide in the bubble all match. It's a very yeah, okay, go run away. Like, I'll be here at full health whenever you want whenever you want to actually duel. So I like that build. It's 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 almost, I hesitate to say it, but it's almost a troll build. It's yeah, it, but against people that are, dropping Hulk and running across the arena and just trying to get a few shots in and, win on health anyway. Yeah, I have no problem at all running heal build. Uh, Against Iron Man, this is where I'm getting off track. The other, going back to the skills verse on the heal build. This is versus, like Spider-Man, uh, Storms primarily. I really like running Provoke. You get this what is it? Unbreakable Will Shield Impact. I get this got added on the cap buff. He always did this, uh, decrease all damage received by 50%, which was great. Always did the knockback, and always did. It used to be 900 some damage. I got a buff with the specials. Got a buff. My special costume, Rise of the East, got a big buff. Uh, well, little buff. It got a buff. I'll put it that way. But now I provoke, which is great for Spider-Man. Great for people that run around. It's like just pinning them down until I can bash them with the shield. Before, I used to have to wait until the opponent was in a move that took a little bit of a wind up, and then I could catch him in that move and just bash him. I'd mitigate 20% of the damage that they're winding up, or I'm sorry, 50% of the damage that they're winding up for. Just tank that damage and then bash them for that huge, 1,000% damage. Is pretty good for my Iron Man, primarily Iron Man fighting build. Provoke just doesn't work as well versus Iron Man because Provoke doesn't prevent Iron Man from running his attacks. And when Iron Man has Spin Blade, pretty much whenever he wants it, he can, like, I can hit I can hit it's this one. I can hit this one and he'll be in Spin Blade by the time I hit him. It's, I can time it. If I time it really well, I launch it during, like Party Protocol or guided missiles, it can be effective. But the provoke really, doesn't make a difference in that. The provoke's not really a benefit versus Iron Man at all. So, Server in the Silence versus Iron Man, it keeps him from running his spin blade for a second or two. If I can follow that up with some other damage, I but I'm still really trying to put it together versus Iron Man's. Uh, against higher, like actually built Iron Man, I still have like limited success. Now, my PvE build, I'm running almost cap crit rate, cap my crit damage. I want that multiplier. There, um, as far as I know, bosses don't run crit damage decrease. So yeah, I get some good damage versus PvE. My super village villain damage is not high at all because of the fact that I just primarily do PvP. That's what I enjoy. That's how I play the game. I do PvP. I'm not going to. I'm never going to be one that's tops the invasion leaderboards. But guess what? I wasn't going to do that with Cap anyway. Speaking of invasion leaderboards, let's check it out. Uh, where am I in the rankings? Yeah, 79. Yeah. I think I was the first day I was sitting in the 20s, but yeah, it's I I can't get much more than 32. That's just, you know, you, you, you just you, there's a couple caps that are higher, but like there's like 2 million, 2 million. It probably helps that they probably have some guard damage like built in. I have not gone to any type of guard damage build. Yeah, Warden is 2 mil. Yeah, I didn't want to do guard damage on this build. Is that the right way, the wrong way? It would have helped with this invasion. I don't know that it would help with anything else. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah. I, I see a lot of people that do guard damage that, okay, they can stun you, they can, break you, but, like, for me, you know, a lot of those people, they don't do damage. So I just can get up from that and, continue beating their butt. Uh, oh, yeah, I guess I'll run through the rankings real quick. Dimension Duel, currently I'm sitting in 15th. Uh, could I push for Avenger? Probably. I feel like I feel like I could make Avenger with this build right now. Maybe, probably, but uh, I've, I've got stuff to do today. I feel like I'm done for the week. I did make a conscious effort to play my 2 Omega Wars a day. I am ranked 18th uh, now. Of course, that's considering that I spent the first half of the week without the cap buffs. That goes for Duel 2. We will we'll see what it looks like after. Next week get the full weekend. Yeah, the last thing. Oh yeah, show my potential. I'm still far from built. Got a lot of defense to do. I can do more guard damage, but I'm actually already running. I'm already hitting the cap on guard damage decrease. This would give me a little more. If I max this other one, it would give me a little more room to yeah. But I just I really don't need more guard damage decrease right now. I would like to, reroll that shield and get more crit damage decrease, then I would like more card damage decrease, but I'm good right now. The HP recovery is probably what I'm going to be focusing on next, because that will help with my heal build. I got some attack, I got some defense, uh, you know, both good specs. I'm almost on my spec tree. The only really significant ones left, I will get a little bit more, a couple percent points in crit damage decrease. Got a little more defense left to go. Got a little. This is probably the most significant. I get my couple more percent on my PvP damage decrease. I will be, I believe, capped out without having to put another uh, decrease down card roll on. Now, looking at my traits, this is what I usually run for duels. Increase damage to bleeding targets by, that'll be 30% when it's maxed. You need this. Decreases damage received, that max at, I believe, 18%. That's what it makes you feel tanky. That's a it's a it's great. It's really great. Uh, this I love it. I personally love it. I know a lot of caps don't run it. Increased damage of the first skill used within 6 seconds after hand-to-hand combat class skill. Uh, this it gives you that same 30%, but you don't have to land bleed. You don't have to have full vibranium gauge. You can pop this, anytime that your hand-to-hand skill is off cooldown. That's very significant because mine has like an 8-second cooldown. So I'm pretty much, a lot of times, I'm running hand-to-hand, line up for a big skill, smack that, then I'll do my dash, do my shield absorption. Like, this is a very significant source of damage. This is the new trait. They took away the percent health increase when you're below 30% health, which was really a garbage trait. And they now made us invulnerable for that. I think that max is close to 4 seconds. When it's max, it'll prevent health from falling below 12% or 15% rather. And it decreases all skill cooldowns when maxed by 50%. It's a good skill, or a good trait rather. I feel like they took what didn't work about Captain Marvel's skill, her revive, immortal, whatnot trait, and they took that and just made this so that it will work. It it doesn't have a heal, which I kind of wish that it did, but they made the invulnerable last longer, because 2 seconds for Captain Marvel, a lot of times it didn't even register that she was invulnerable. It was like a lot of attacks last longer than 2 seconds. Uh, it prevents HP from falling below a certain mark. That's significant because, by the time Captain Marvel took that, critical damage, she's like Okay, you got to heal. Okay, you got 2 seconds of, invulnerability. But once that 2 seconds is up and you get hit another time, you're dead. You, like the heal was like an overtime type heal. So unless you were a high health build, it was the stat was pretty worthless. A lot of Captain Marvels did not run it, didn't like it. This it's like they took everything they learned from Captain Marvel's stat that didn't work and fixed it. Like I said, I would love to see a heal here, especially since I'm high health, but this is in a lot of ways better than, like it locks your HP. Locking your HP at 15% for 4 seconds, that's pretty significant. It is on a 600 second, which is a 10-minute cooldown, but that cooldown refreshes when you die. So if you get killed in Dimension Duel or Omega War, it it should reset that cooldown. That you should get that again. Where you have that 6 seconds is one when that does proc, and you go down to health again. Like if this hits and you survive, it's on cooldown. If this hits and then you die within 10 minutes, like then the cooldown resets. The in PvE, I'll run the Passion, instead of Unyielding Will, because I'm not. The crazy thing is, if I run Passion in PvE, I do so much damage. I will never proc Unyielding Will. Right now, as far as PvE goes, Hela Hela beats me. I can die to Hela fairly easy. I can die in DZ fairly easy. The Magneto invasion, as long as I remember to put Passion on, I have to dodge that big Magneto area attack. Other than that, before and after that area attack, I run invasion tier 5 with like on auto. Completely on auto. I don't have to dodge. I don't have to do anything other than dodge that one AoE attack. Passion is really great. Really looking forward to getting it up more. It is worthless in PvP though, because you're not doing like these 3 million, you know, 3 billion damage attacks in PvP. You, like there are a lot more divisors, or demultipliers, if you will, in PvP that your damage is lower. Big, I guess, big elephant in the room. I'm not running Vanguard. I've mentioned my reasoning before. The multipliers do a lot more for you than the attack. You're, you know, I'm better off getting plus 30% here and plus 30% here than I am to get, yeah, that's 30% of defense. I've done the math. I'll get like 6,600 attack. Like, you know, then once I get the multipliers with that, but it's still, I still rather see that the bravery multiplier and the weakness multiplier. Now, will I trade that for maybe the unyielding will? Possibly, very possibly in the future. Will I trade it? Yeah, Charisma's got to stay. The other skill I would love to play with more, get my 50% chance to absorb additional 25% vibration gauge. That's another skill that's going to give me that 30% vibration release multiplier a lot sooner. When you look at my skills, oh, yeah, this is good to show you. When I run PvE, I got my shield slice, shield slice, which absorbs 25% vibration gauge. I got my little fist, gives me 30% attack increase on the next attack after I throw this. Got my nice little it. If I stack 30% vibration or the 100% vibration gauge, I get the additional 30% damage, right? If I do that on a bleeding target and use the fist in front of it, I I'll easily get 3 mil damage. That was before I maxed my crit rate, so I haven't played with it much since then. That's with no supervillain damage increase. That was my full PvP gear. So it's nice. Getting 6,000 more damage is just not going to do. I'm not going to see those numbers just by increasing 6,000 damage. I don't think. Maybe my math is wrong. Maybe the math is different now that the crit damage multiplier is not as big of a deal anymore in, for like PvP. So yeah. Anyway, that's where I'm at. If you watch this long, then get a life. I'll try to keep it shorter next week. Later.